Okay, I'm going to do a video here. I'll try to make it as short as I can, but there's a lot to talk about. About 2 years ago, a woman who calls herself the Activist Mommy, some of you may have heard of her, she put out a video called "They Are Coming for Our Children." I have it in my must-watch playlist if you want to find it. I can't link it right now. But right now with the proposals these Democrats are throwing out, it's clear they want your kids. They want to raise your kids how they see fit. And the first thing they're wanting longer school hours. In fact, Kamala Harris wants your kids in school until 6 p.m. 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's 10 hours. You want your kid in school for 10 hours? And all of them want to put an end to homeschooling. They don't want people to be able to homeschool their children. Now, I don't have children, but I'm a die-hard homeschool advocate. If I had kids, believe you me, they would be homeschooled. They are also proposing an end to religious private schools, as well as private schools altogether, but they really want to end the religious ones. They don't think you should be able to raise your children Christian or Catholic or whatever religion you are. And even those of you who are atheists or just hate religion, this should scare you. It'll be the religious kids first, it'll be your kids next. So it's not that you don't have to be religious to see the danger of this. You do not have to believe in God or Buddha or Allah or whatever. All you have to do is see the danger in the government wanting to take over people's kids. There was a case in Arizona, I think about 6 or 7 months ago, in which the SWAT team barged into a home and took some children from their parents, all because the little 2-year-old boy had a fever. And the children were put in separate foster homes. Now, I thought you were against separating families, by the way. Really? No one screamed about this. Despicable. But anyways, I think about 8 or 9 years ago, a young girl named Justina Pelletier was taken from her family because her family asked for a second opinion on a medical diagnosis. And this young doctor didn't want to be second-guessed, so this girl was taken and put into a facility. She had a very rare condition, I think it was called mitochondria or something like that. 17 months, she was separated from her family, and she came home in a wheelchair. You see the home videos, she was ice skating before. She was a little Nancy Kerrigan. And now she's in a wheelchair. Good job, government. Yeah. I mean, this is what they want. They want to brainwash your kids. They've got kids marching for gun control. They've got kids marching for this climate change stuff. And I tell you this, I saved a video, also on my must-watch playlist. Some students who were against this gun control march, they were being reprimanded by the school. The school officials were taking away the "Don't Tread on Me" flags. They were pretty much telling the kids what to think. And these kids who were against gun control, their voices were being silenced. Again, that video is in my must-watch list. You want to take a look at that later. It'll really piss you off. But this is just more government control, and it's mostly the Democrats. And I'm not saying Republicans are perfect or nothing. I'm just not seeing them wanting to do all this. I'm not seeing them trying to end private schooling, homeschooling, and whatever. I once heard someone say he thinks religion controls government, and although I like this guy, I think he's a fool to think that. The fact is, I believe most governments, they hate religion. You know, how dare you believe in something higher than me? And it's you know, this is why dictators take away religion. They want you to replace God or whatever you believe in with that dictator. One of the first things they do after they get the guns is they take away religion. Go to some of these dictator countries. They ain't got no churches of any religion. So, even though I think this anti-vaxxer movement is absolutely crazy, parents shouldn't have their kids taken away for that. They can have this belief if they want. So, anyways, I think people, especially those who either have kids or want kids, should be very concerned. I don't have kids, but I want them. I can't have kids, so there is the option of adoption. I was adopted. But, you know, if these Democrats will probably make it harder to adopt, especially for people like me who are Christian or of other religions. They will make it harder to adopt unless they may make you require you put the kid in public school for 10 hours a day. And I gotta say, I'm not saying conservatives are completely, I guess, absolved of all this. I've seen conservatives put this list on Facebook. They'll say, schools need to teach all these things, and they list the things like how to change a tire, how to balance a checkbook, which I did learn that in school, by the way. How to do this, I don't remember them all, but just basic things, how to fold clothes, how to do laundry. And I'm sitting there thinking, how long do you want your kid in school? You teach them some of these things. Why is it all up to the school? And now that's coming. Okay, stop putting this thing on Facebook that schools need to teach all this crap. You teach your kid. I mean, even if your kid goes to school, they shouldn't have to teach them every little teeny tiny detail about life. You're the parent. If you can't teach your kids these things, maybe you shouldn't have kids. But, you know, the fact is that I think this is what the Democrats want, especially the Democrats. But, you know, I'm seeing conservatives crying for some of this stuff, not all of it, but especially they're keeping kids in school longer, so the school can teach your kid how to fold clothes, which is something you should be teaching them. But, I mean, if you guys really, it's just, I find it mind-boggling that y'all been putting this thing on Facebook for so many years, and now this is exactly what the Democrats are wanting. They don't want parents teaching their kids anything, period. Especially religious, but other as well. And again, for those of you who are not religious, even those of you who hate religion, this should scare you, because it will start with the religious children, and then it'll be your kids.